right, I think we'll get started since we don't have anyone else trickling in. All right, one more person. Nice. Hey, Christian.
Hey.
We're just getting started. I think everybody here probably knows this is being recorded. So thumbs up to that. And we'll post this in the channel after we're done. So yeah, I guess a few announcements, and then we'll have one presentation today by Flav. So first announcement here, I'm Kalen Urquhart, so I'll be helping out running this meeting going forward. I work at PipeKit. I'm the co-founder, CEO at PipeKit. So what we do is provide services and tooling for data teams to run workloads on Kubernetes, and we do that using Argo Workflows. So if anybody has any demos or presentations for future community meetings, feel free to reach out to me. I think my email is in this Google Doc, and then you can also find me on Slack. Other announcements, let me just share the agenda here. Cool. Other announcements, the contributors meeting, we're still holding that. It's now every other Tuesday at 10 a.m. With Terry hosting that, but several of us are joining that every other week. So we encourage people to stop by there. And in that process, we are updating the Argo Workflows roadmap. So just a reminder to upvote any issues and comment on that document so we can keep prioritizing issues and or new feature requests. The last announcement we have is we've added a few new CI examples to the document in the Argo Workflows doc, including a more detailed example by Tim Collins at Sendable. So that's really great. Please share that in the community if you see anyone who needs help on the CI end. And then I wanted to ask Bala, do you have any other announcements or any thoughts looking at 3.4?
3.4, we are mainly focusing on artifact visualization and garbage collections. We are mainly working on that one. Cool. We have a POC and we are currently adding into the controller. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, I can add the link to the PR here. Is that where the POC is, or do you know the tag?
Yeah, there is already a project, and I will give that the main issue, which is the one. The issue number is 3102.
Cool. 3102. Cool. I'll add that in there. And that's for artifact visualization, right?
And garbage collection.
Oh, that's garbage collection. Cool. Great. Any other announcements from anyone? Cool. Well, with that, then I'll hand the floor and mic over to you, Flav.
Thanks, Kalen.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Flaviu. I'm a software engineer at Dyno Therapeutics, and I'm one of the maintainers of Hera Workflows. I'm here today to give an update on the progress of Hera since its initial release in the Argo Project Labs organization last October, and chat about some of the next steps the project might take in the next few months. What is Hera? Hera is an Argo Workflows Python SDK that was written and released by Dyno Therapeutics in collaboration with the Argo maintainers last October. At that time, Argo Workflow specifically was slightly challenging to access via Python for scientific computing purposes because existing SDKs were not very accessible to users who are not very familiar with Argo concepts in the first place. And that's what motivated Dyno to create a client for Argo that abstracts away the Argo core concepts and exposes a light interface that gives users the ability to focus on easy creation and submission of workflows. At the core of Hera's design, the idea of simplicity will always be central. In addition, there was a set of initial requirements that Hera aimed to solve upon initial release. It aimed to simplify dependency setup, which it did via either bit shift operators or a method called next directly on tasks. It also needed easy parallelisms setup, which it achieved via simply passing multiple structure parameters to one's Python function that is executed on Argo. Easy submissions via single create call, and elements such as maintaining some parallels between the naming conventions of Argo and Hera to facilitate users' understanding of how Hera concepts relate to elements of the Argo UI, for example, and support for multiple types such as pydantic schemas that give you validation, serialization, and things of that kind, so that are passed between tasks. So where are we at today since last October? So Hera is currently on version 3.5.0. There were a few breaking changes that I would say were pretty minor, but they were impactful, such as the introduction of a differently structured host and token representation for workflow submission. And we've introduced these things because they are a more accurate reflection of how the community wanted to perform submissions to Argo through Hera. Hera is currently sitting at 127 stars with 32 forks, and it was featured in. I'd say there were primarily 3 impactful bugs that affected Hera so far, which have been solved in past releases, of course. Through issue submission, some users have left very positive feedback using descriptions such as awesome, great work, and amazing, which I was super grateful for. And lastly, Hera recently added a users.md file, which now includes 4 official companies, specifically Reverie Labs, Infinite Lambda, PipeKit, and Dyno Therapeutics. In the next 4 to 6 months, the primary goal is to, of course, keep delivering on feature requests that come from the community. Some users have expressed interest in custom tasks that can integrate with other engines in order to support users accessing specific tools for specific problems, yet still access them through Argo Workflows. That gives them the benefit of using Kubernetes, orchestration on Argo, and things of that kind. One question I noticed in the CNCF Slack workspace is whether there's an Argo CD client that is similar to design in design to Hera, and there wasn't one at the time. So there are some thoughts floating around on the topic of making Hera a facilitator of access to Argo CD, the same way it facilitates access to Argo Workflows. The idea of spinning up local clusters for testing Hera is also something that might empower user adoption, in addition to the creation of blogs that showcase different application types for Hera in the realm of machine learning, data processing ETL, similar to the topics outlined on the Argo Workflows README, for example. I know the community is quite excited about the Argo Workflows multi-cluster option, and Hera will develop that capacity if it needs to, whenever that feature is released by Workflows. Lastly, it would be valuable for some users to have access to more contextual types for different cloud providers, such as tolerations and node selectors, for example, that are very contextual to what you see in the Google Kubernetes engine, Azure, and AWS. In the last minute, I'd like to briefly cover some thoughts on contributions. There are currently 24 unique contributors to Hera, to whom I want to extend a big thank you for donating your time and effort to making Hera a better product. Hera is also looking for maintainers, which would help enable the path to feature parity with Argo Workflows and potentially Argo CD, which might enable wider community adoption by supporting more features of Argo and enable the integration of Argo with other tools such as Dask and Apache Spark. Lastly, if anyone in the audience uses Hera in their organization, I invite you to submit a PR with your organization in the users.md file, as it would greatly help strengthen Hera's presence in the Argo, Workflows, and CNCF community. That was everything I had for the short update. I'm happy to answer any questions. And of course, I appreciate all the feedback on things like Hera's future direction.
Thanks, Flav. Yeah, does anybody have any questions? Feel free to speak up or drop them in the chat.
One quick question. Or continue. Hey, Christian, I'll default to you on this one.
Yeah, let's get a dumb question out of the way. So being new here, I've never heard of Hera. So reading the GitHub, looks like it's a Python client for Argo Workflows. Am I getting that at least partially right?
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Okay,
It's a Python client. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, that was my only question. I was just trying to get a clarification.
Yeah. Sounds good.
One quick question. What would like the planned Dask or like Spark integrations look like? I mean, would it be like, hey, we're invoking some sort of like workflow template that we are baptizing as like canon for each of these integrations? Or is this like a dedicated like Spark or Dask task that would become like a primitive within Hera itself?
I'm currently erring on the side of that second option, and it would probably take the shape of multiple tasks. One to spin up the resource that you need in Dask or Spark or whatever, and then one to tear it down on exit. But of course, I'll probably open up a discussion, offer some POCs, and see what the community thinks. Because the ergonomics can be fairly interesting, and how you parameterize, how you specify contextual information can differ between approaches. So we'll see what the community would like to use.
Makes sense.
Great. Any other questions? Awesome. Yeah, thanks again, Flav, for the update. And I think that's going to be a wrap for this meeting. We were going to have another presentation, but unfortunately the presenter had an unexpected health issue come up. So we'll slot that for July's presentation. And like I said at the beginning, if anybody has any interest in demoing or giving a longer presentation, please don't hesitate to Slack me in the CNCF chat or send me an email. My email's in the Google Doc for the workflows meeting. And then I'll also be looking out for people to do lightning demos more in the future. So yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you in July here again. Have a great day, everybody. See ya.
Yeah. Thank you.